Section 2. RMB internationalization. The RMB is short for renminbi, the legal currency of China. Despite China's promoting role in the global economy order, the country's currency is not internationalized. It is neither used by non-residents nor used for investment transaction and trading settlement. This is in contrast with the world's most popular reserve currency, the US dollar, used as the medium of exchange in the majority of cross-border transactions. For example, a Thailand exporter and a Mexican importer would use US dollar for invoice and transaction settlement rather than their own currencies. The RMB's non-convertibility is one reason for its unpopularity. Financial regulations prohibit economic actors, international and domestic alike, from freely exchanging the RMB for foreign currencies. Capital controls provides another explanation for widespread RMB avoidance. While the limits are imposed to whom can move money into and out of the country. As the Chinese economy continues to develop, China has committed to RMB internationalization. The RMB internationalization is the process in which RMB can cross national borders, circulate abroad, and become a universally recognized currency of valuation, settlement, and reserve. This means, ideally, RMB cash can enjoy a certain degree of circulation abroad. Financial products denominated in RMB have become invested instruments of major international financial institutions, including central banks. To this end, the scales of financial markets denominated in RMB keeps expanding. RMB settlements in a certain portion of international trade. In 1993, China's top leadership declared capital account convertibility as a long-term goal. To achieve this goal, policymakers unpacked the RMB from the US dollar and implemented a controlled float system, adjusting the RMB with reference to a basket of currencies. Motivated to internationalization of the RMB, the Chinese financial regulators took actions through policy reform, which including establishing currency swap lines with foreign central banks, loosing settlement restriction on trade and a cross-border remittance transaction in RMB, permitting issuance of offshore RMB-denominated bonds, allowing banks to offer offshore RMB deposit accounts. These measures lead to the most important component of RMB internationalization, the development of an offshore RMB market outside of China. Onshore versus offshore RMB. Historically, RMB trade and exchange was limited to mainland markets only, allowing policymakers the power to maintain close control over the exchange rate. This dynamic changed in 2009 with the introduction of Hong Kong as an offshore hub for currency exchange. RMB traded outside of mainland China is referred to as offshore RMB, or CNH, distinguished from onshore RMB, or CNY. Basically, both onshore and offshore RMB are the same currency. They are simply traded in different markets. Since the two markets operate independently, onshore and offshore RMB trade at different rates and can move in different directions. Because CNH is free-floating and CNY is semi-controlled, the relative strength of onshore and offshore RMB can vary significantly. As the RMB continues to internationalize, there have been discussions about convergence of the two markets. However, it is expected that the onshore and offshore market will remain separate for the foreseeable future. It is important to note that RMB joined the Special Drawing Rights (SDR) reserve currency basket on October 1, 2016, alongside the US dollar, euro, British pound, and Japanese yen, as part of China's opening up policies and ongoing economic reforms. The inclusion of RMB in the IMF's SDR basket is considered as a significant milestone towards the integration of the Chinese economy into the global financial system. The RMB is the basket's fifth entrant at 11%. It is the third highest weighted currency following the US dollar and the euro. Although the IMF was initially hesitant to include the RMB, the organization relented after China implemented reforms to meet the standard for freely usable currency. For now, inclusion in the basket is largely a symbolic sign of importance. Few financial institutions are denominated in SDR. The interest is growing. For example, the World Bank issued $500 million worth of 3-year SDR-denominated bonds in China on August 31, 2016, a maneuver expected to inspire wider usage of SDR-denominated debt instrument.
Thank you, colleagues, and thank you particularly to the Chinese team and to all those at the IMF who've worked really hard over the last few months to come to what I'm announcing now. I'm very pleased to announce that tomorrow, October 1st, 2016, the special drawing right basket will become effective, the new basket, because as of tomorrow, the renminbi will be considered by the international community as a freely usable international currency and will join the basket of the special drawing rights together with the US dollar, the euro, the yen, and the British pound. The expansion of the SDR basket is a historical milestone for the SDR, for the fund, but more importantly for China and for the international monetary system. It is a significant change for the SDR basket because this is the first time in its history that it is being expanded. The inclusion of the renminbi in the special drawing right basket will further diversify it and will make its composition more representative of the global currencies and the global economy. It is a significant change for the fund because since the euro, this is the first time that a new currency is included to that basket, which means that going forward, the fund will use the renminbi in its financial operations, as will many other institutions. This is also a significant change for China and for the international monetary system. It is an important step in the integration of the Chinese economy into the global financial and monetary system. The renminbi's inclusion reflects the progress made in reforming China's monetary, foreign exchange and financial systems. And it acknowledges the advances made in liberalizing and improving the infrastructure of the financial markets. The continuation and deepening of these efforts, with appropriate safeguards, will bring about a more robust international monetary and financial system, which in turn will be good for the stability and growth of China and of the international economy. So today, this milestone reflects the significant evolution of the global economy. It also demonstrates that the fund is determined to serve and guide its membership and to accompany and adjust to the changes. Thank you very much.
RMB is not convertible in capital account transaction. Trade settlement in RMB has surged in recent years, largely thanks to the number of currency swap agreements that China entered with its trade partners. Since the RMB is still not an international reserve currency, bilateral currency swap agreements help enable trade settlement in RMB with the added benefit of improving operational efficiency, lowering transaction cost, and ensuring market confidence. China has entered into more than 30 bilateral currency swap agreements since December 2008. As of May 15, 2015, the total value of effective currency swap agreements was 2.9 trillion yuan, equivalent to $468 billion. In 2014, an equivalent of 1.13 trillion yuan, that is $182 billion of swaps were conducted under these swap agreements. RMB internationalization is a long-term goal, and China is making great progress towards the goal. According to the report on the internationalization of RMB in 2020, released by the People's Bank of China, the RMB payment currency function has been continuously enhanced, and the reserve currency function has gradually emerged. The RMB continues to maintain a stable position in the global monetary system. In 2019, the cross-border use of RMB has grown rapidly against the trend. Data show that in 2018, the cross-border RMB receipts and payments amounted to 19.67 trillion yuan, a year-on-year increase of 24.1%. The amount of receipts and payments achieved a record high, making it the fifth largest payment currency in the world. As at the end of 2019, the People's Bank of China has set up RMB clearing banks in 25 countries and regions outside of mainland China, making the use of RMB more secure and reducing transaction cost. In addition, the reserve function of RMB is highly reflected in the first quarter. The share of RMB in global foreign exchange reserve rose to 2.02%, a record high. That's all for Section 2. Thank you.
you.